Okay, so having seen the last video and now seeing this one, you might be thinking to yourself, holy crap, Vash made EXCAVA better than Last Dagger. Is that actually what's going on? Not so much. But a 10-second Defiler kill is by no means bad, and in the inevitable result that Last Dagger, or Glay in some capacity, gets nerfed, then EXCAVA may well be what we fall back on. And if Last Dagger hadn't been buffed to the fucking moon, this is probably what we would be using right now anyways. So let's talk about how EXCAVA works on a fundamental level, and then we'll get into the build that lets you melt through bosses, just not quite as fast as Last Dagger. EXCAVA honestly has a lot going on with its unique effect. When hitting an enemy, it grants the effect Voltage Charge, and then when Voltage Charge reaches 15 stacks, then it grants Energy Grenade, and then if you have Energy Grenade while firing, then it shoots a fucking magical grenade, and then that magical grenade applies voltage accumulation, and there's like 5 different effects going on here, and who the fuck knows how to make sense of it? I sure as shit don't. Let's talk about it. Voltage Charge literally does nothing. It works as a stacking effect. Once it reaches the 15 stacks, then it gives you Energy Grenade. Energy Grenade doesn't actually have a time limit on it, and as long as you have a stack, it adds 5% base critical hit rate to the weapon. This caps out at 3 stacks total, and as long as you don't ever aim down sight, these will never be consumed. So if you want to have a higher base crit rate, then you can just never aim down sight, and you'll have a permanent 15% base crit rate increase. However, this is kind of piss in the wind because its base crit rate is 3%, so even if you add 15 to that, that's really not going to be doing much for you. Then we have the while aiming effect, and if you have an energy grenade stack, then you will consume 5 ammo and shoot an extra little damage bit, and the damage of this special grenade takes the sum total end damage of the physical damage only, so it does not include any attribute attack, and then it multiplies it by the number of stacks, and then it multiplies it by 2.2. It may be really tempting to hang on to the crit rate bonus, but I promise you in the end you are better off just aiming down sight and firing away. And an added benefit of which is every time you hit something with one of your special grenades, you apply voltage accumulation, which will reduce the enemy's electric resistance. And given that EXCAVA has a shitload of base electric attack, that is a large damage increase in the long run. Getting onto the build though, we take electric enhancement and electric priority, go fucking figure, action and reaction and rifling reinforcement for our firearm attack, and then we take charge amplification, weak point sight, mental focus, have aiming, fire rate up, and ultra precision strike. On a fundamental level, the build is going to look extremely similar to the build we took in the Last Dagger video for Defiler farming. I know a lot of people are going to be very confused that I'm using charge amplification here and not going the crit damage route, but I swear to God, anyone who is telling you to build EXCAVA as a crit damage weapon, outside of a character like Haley that buffs the shit out of the crit rate of the weapon itself, has no clue what the fuck they're talking about. It's really tempting to say it's a crit weapon, but it is not, in literally any capacity. This is the worst crit weapon imaginable. So please do not build into better insight, better concentration priority. That is going to be a damage loss across the board. We do technically take crit damage as a substat. All that does is balance out the negative crit damage from charge amplification, but that's barely a damage increase, and compared to the other options, that is about as good as we're ever going to get. But in terms of these substats, I personally take firearm attack, critical hit damage, weak point damage, and then electric attack. When it comes to the core, you do not actually take bonus attack to Colossus. You also don't even take firearm attack. You triple up on electric attack cores. This is going to be the largest damage increase possible. As for your green cores, inevitably they are fire rate. In the future, if they ever fix the fire rate issue and give us a fire rate limit that is higher than it is, then the free cores could swap to quadruple fire rate, and that would be the largest DPS increase imaginable. But until then, triple up on your electric attack cores. On the note of cores and substats though, I'd just like to show real quick what my core rolls are in terms of my kill getting 10 seconds, because kind of like the Last Dagger kill, I got a 6-second kill on Defiler with Last Dagger, and then I theorized that we'd see 4-second kills within the next day. That obviously came true very quickly. And then if you're really gonna be quirky and build out your EXCAVA for this shit, we're probably going to see 8 or 7-second kills because my rolls are atrocious. These are complete shit. Someone is absolutely going to be able to farm out a better kill. I also had horrible aim in my run. We're gonna see 8 or 7 seconds later. As for the strat used when killing Defiler, I already outlined that in the Last Dagger video, so you can go watch that, but there really isn't a whole lot else to talk about. EXCAVA is actually quite the amazing DPS monster. It's just unfortunate that Last Dagger completely outclasses it when it comes to erosion and boss killing.